Hi, welcome to our reading for Friday, December 2nd, 2016. Remember, it's a general reading, so see what feels right for you. See which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you're wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, praying about. We're all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing at the same time, at the same pace. So see what feels right for you. It could be one sign and that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions based in love for the highest and greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you. How you ride these energetic waves that come through here is always up to you. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave? Preparing for that wave, crashing into the wave, riding the wave, or ignoring the wave. Also, feel free to make this an interactive video if you want to pull some cards for yourself. And if you have some time, try to check out the music, the links below. Show your love, support to the artists, musicians, enjoy the tunes, and see if there's more personal signs and depth to this reading today for you. Thank you for joining me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in a moment for the reading. Hi, welcome to our reading for Friday, December 2nd, 2016. We're going to start with one card from the Steampunk Tarot. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, our higher self, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Let's get some clarity, focus, and understanding into the energies going on today and how to ride these energies best for all of us. Let's start with one card. And the Tower is back. It's back today. So it's time for things to get swept away. Take out the trash. Change your perception. Look at things a different way. Look for the blessings coming into your world now that the crap is gone or it's about to go. It's definitely going because this Tower keeps coming back. So something has to change. You have to get up, brush things off, and keep moving. Start rebuilding again. This is something that was not good, not working, not worth your while, not worth the investment, not worth your time, but yet was because it was probably a lesson. But now for you to move forward is no longer worth your time, worth your energy. It's going to be ripped away. It's time for it to go. It's time for that perception you had that something had to be a certain way and built a certain way, and that's not really the best way to build something to go. You know, those old habits, those old perceptions, those old relationships, those old hurts, those old fears, that old shit that's just dragging behind you is going to go away. You know, I feel like either something is lifted up. I feel like that's you. I feel like that's you. I feel like this was all the shit around you in your world being ripped away. It could be a lot of different things. It could be one very specific thing that's going to make a big difference in your world. So it doesn't have to be huge, but it will make a big difference later. I hear perception. So it's how you're seeing this situation that's making a difference, that's making you move. I feel like some of you have to move. Like it's time to get out of there. It's time to go on vacation. It's time to go somewhere different. Go on an adventure. This is like something exciting coming into your world. You know, dramatic, romantic, it's something. So I feel like you should be excited by the means in which this is taken away. Like it was much easier to get rid of it this way than dragging something out, or perhaps you were dragging something out and now it's just done. This could be a breakup, you know, in a relationship, but you're like happy about. You feel like you can breathe again afterwards. It's like this it's like, it just made me think of Little Things by Bush for some reason. Like when little things keep adding up in the beginning, maybe they didn't bother you, but eventually those things do make a difference when it's habits and somebody's like constant negativity around you, or somebody constantly tearing you down, or not hearing you when you speak, or trying to control your situation or tell you what to do. This is you breaking free. This is you doing something about it. It's finally busting through and you can't do it anymore. Or that's somebody else. Or this is just the situation around you and now you have to go out of it. You have to rebuild, redo, restructure something, find your stability again, dig your roots down deep. I see like a tree of life, like almost like a family tree, you know, different branches reaching out, fertile ground, maybe your family, your friends, maybe it has something to do with your friends or your family, but it's gonna bring a big good change somewhere in your world. It's either gonna, you know, finally release something that was just holding you back, tying you down, restricting you somehow, and it opens you up. It makes, you know, it makes the surface like almost like barren again. I almost think of like a forest fire, you know, when there's overgrowth and things happen. Sometimes the lightning comes or a fire comes and it just cleanses everything. It starts everything over. It regenerates things, you know, so there's like almost like a phoenix regeneration. What was dead before comes alive again because something that was like, I'm seeing like pesticides or something just like hurting the situation even more was in there. So I feel like this brings solutions. This brings magnetic attraction back. It's like ripping away all the, it's like if you're this beacon of light and love, it's like I see somebody like who threw mud at you or iron. You know, I'm thinking of like kryptonite for some reason, like being locked away, and that was weird. I just thought of kryptonite, and then I thought of I want to say the Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant for some reason, and I don't know where that came from, and that took me to Indiana Jones. So I hope that was helpful for someone, but maybe an adventure, discovering something, faith. I'm getting faith. Have faith in this situation. Everything has a bigger purpose than possibly what you see from the ground. But as soon as you start to build something up, you'll see this bigger purpose. And you'll see how much more of a blessing it is to have built on something firm now. Something solid, something real, something where you've already had the experience of something and you can handle what comes through now. You can prepare better now. You can work something out. I feel like you're working something out afterwards. So breakup, it could be loss of a job. It could be finding a new job. This could be where you had so much, it could be that it was barren before. And when I see this tower, I also think of like a volcano, which makes me think of sexual energy, passionate energy, something bursting like that. Maybe if something was stagnant or barren or not happening for a while, maybe this is something bursting into your world that involves love, involves passion. Maybe that's an awesome tower coming into your world. All right, let's get more clarity. I'm gonna pull another card from the same tarot deck. Let's get more clarity on number 16 that brings you to a 7, which brings you spiritual change. It's a spiritual change. It's a crossroads. It's something happening to offer a chance for something brand new. That's not like it was before. That's ripped down. That's done. It's over here. What's done is done. You know, there's something better coming through now. Now it can come through. Before it couldn't for some reason. There was something blocking you. You know, You had to experience something in that tower. You had to do your apprenticeship. You had to have a couple bad relationships or negative people around you. So you recognize how awesome it is when you have those people in your life that make you laugh and giggle and feel free and don't judge you and tell you what to do, and you can be yourself around. So, you know, I feel like this is a good tower. I feel like it's bringing a brand new start for something. So let's get clarity on the tower. And that's the 7 of Swords. Okay, so this is a weird card. It's a weird one. There's different ways to look at this card. So, what's at the bottom? Judgment 20. So judging this person is all right. So it's a Swords card. Sometime this is also a 7. This could be you sneaking away out of a really harsh situation. This could be somebody else slipping through a situation. It's sometimes like the thief or the stealthy one, the one that gets away with something. It's where there's something going on that not everybody sees happening. It's not necessarily positive or negative, depending on your situation. So it could be you escaping a situation smoothly or under the radar without being noticed. Taking what you need with you and leaving all the stuff that doesn't work behind. You're taking wisdom with you. You're taking solutions with you. You're taking your thoughts. You know, the things that you went through that brought you the mental anguish or clarity or drive to change and go a different direction, to get out of where you were. So this could be somebody, I would say just keep your eyes open today. You know, that somebody doesn't get away with something. You know, judgment is at the bottom, so I feel like somebody is not going to get away with something. So have integrity, you know, with your judgments, perhaps release judgments. Maybe somebody else had a situation in their past where they just had to get out of something and they had to do it whatever way they could in that moment. And maybe they wouldn't do it like that again. So you have to be understanding of maybe somebody had to do something. I feel like it's usually some kind of protection. Like it's where somebody says maybe not the whole truth because they feel like maybe you're not going to get hurt, whereas you would be more hurt if you knew otherwise, and it's not really helping you to know something, you know? So this could be somebody else who hid something, didn't tell you the whole truth in the past, or you didn't tell the whole truth on something, you know, because maybe it was an intense situation that happened. You did what you could to get out. But this all comes back to having a brand new chance here with Judgment, with 20, with having a new awakening, a new transformation energy in why you do what you do. So you don't have to do it like you did before. This is when, you know, the sound is made, the trumpets are calling, the song is playing, but everybody hears something different. Everybody takes that lesson differently, analyzes their own situations according to what they went through, their own perception, their own lessons, what they know, and you don't always know what the other person went through. So I want to say don't assume that you understand how that other person is going to react or respond either, and just release judgments here. Hear the call that's for you. Hear the call that's true. Hear the call that resonates for you and brings like something rising out of the ashes, you know, that releases something that was just done and dead and brings you solutions. And I just heard cosmic energy. That was really weird. Maybe there's big energies coming through and somebody's waking up. I feel like you're being rescued here. You know, something you crashed somewhere. This plane crashed, but these two people are pretty calm. They understand that help is coming. You know, they said a prayer and released all that tension, came to a compromise and came up with a solution. You know, used a little duct tape on the propeller. Rewired something to get the motor kicking again. You know, waited for the solution to come through, and they knew it was the right one when it comes. You know it's the right one when it comes down. I feel like you're working something out. You're coming up with solutions. You're all in. You're all in with somebody else. You're involved, you know, you're all in. You're gonna make it work, whatever is good for both of you. So maybe you're gonna work this out, come through the situation together and go different directions. Or maybe you're gonna come through this together and be stronger together because of what you went through. Let's see. Let's go back to the Seven of Swords. So I looked at this. Besides, you know, the pyramid and the eye and the symbolism, there's like the swords in your eye. Stick a needle in my eye? What does that mean? Is that a phrase? Is that a thing? That's really weird. Vision, the way you see, your perception upon things. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. She only has 5 swords. And there are 2 here. That makes me think of, like, I don't know, 2 different perceptions. It almost makes me think of the 2 of Swords finally making a decision, walking outside the door, leaving a situation, thinking clearly with your right and left brain and your third eye, your higher perception, to get you out of a situation, to wiggle out of a situation. I feel like you're being witty and you're being smart. I don't feel like it's really the thief, unless that was somebody else that came into your world and you're getting out of there. You're just taking yourself out of that situation. You're not walking into it. You're leaving something behind. Or that's somebody else leaving. You know, if that was somebody else around you that was not in, like, didn't have good integrity, didn't make decisions that were like ego-based decisions, decisions that only helped themselves. They helped themselves and that's it. Then maybe they're just leaving. That's going to be done. That's something that you brought to an end, that had to end, that's going to stop. And that person's going to go away. If this is somebody that, like, taking advantage of you, vampire energy, skimming a little off the top, not being, like, up and up. You know, if that was somebody around you, maybe you're going to recognize that and just be done with it. It's going to go, it's going to leave. Or you're going to understand what happened with a loving energy to see that person's perception on why they had to do what they had to do. So I don't know. I feel like for some of you, that person is good riddance. And for some, it's like a heart-to-heart conversation that you're having to understand where this person was coming from. Or that's you having to do something to get out of a situation so you're not in some crap. So you're not around something that doesn't feel right. You know, you're taking your change, you know, you're changing with your 5 swords. And you're spinning your wheels and getting out of there. So let's go to the Power Archangel Tarot. Let's get clarity on this 7 of Swords. I hear high alert. So just be on high alert. Be sensitive. Maybe you're empathetic. You can feel out the truth in a situation. Maybe you sensed something before and now you actually find out the truth. Maybe it wasn't as bad as you thought. I feel like it's not really that bad. I feel like it's possibly just needing to get out of a situation. It's just not right anymore, you know, and there's still love here. I don't feel like it's horrible. I feel like there's an understanding, you know, like, hello, goodbye, thank you, adieu, or welcome. I understand, and I'm so sorry that took so long. It's a blessing, and a separation at the same time, and a change. So the Three of Ariel. So this is working together, you know? So you're either having somebody get out of your environment that you did not work well with, that was, you know, in it for their own reasons, and that's it. Not to help out anybody else but themselves, and in the end they didn't really even help themselves, even though they thought they were helping themselves. Or this is somebody who is leaving an environment, taking something beautiful and beneficial with them that they learned, and knowing more about themselves, yourself, because of where they were. Sometimes we know the most about ourselves when we're in the place that's wrong. You know, now we know what's right. If we're just sort of always where it's always kind of right, sometimes it just gets stagnant and like I see like a plateau. You don't notice any difference in landscape or weather or anything. So sometimes we have a job or a relationship or a situation or a conversation or something that happens that's really shitty and really, really wrong for us, the wrong environment for us to be in. But now we had that experience so we can recognize it, you know, feel it before it happens again. Find solutions to, you know, the problems that were occurring before so they don't occur again. And now knowing how to work with energies that work for you, going somewhere that works for you, doing a job that you love instead of being a place you didn't like, or being in a relationship that you work well with, that the energy is flowing and creative and abundant together. I mean, this is the job well done. This is when you get to work, you get the ball rolling. Others notice the work that you're doing. Three of Ariel is like the three, it's like the Three of Earth, so it's actually putting your hands into something that you do physically to make it happen, to build it, to start a new, like a side business, a home business, start to create art, put creativity into the mix, building something solid. It's work, but it's working together even in relationships. So maybe something happened and now you're going somewhere, you know, where you think clearly, where you're happy, you're involved, you're noticed, you know, you're appreciated here with the Three. This is do what you love, a time for great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner, you know, working well together in harmony, where blessings come for everybody. This is where you work somewhere. Like I'm thinking of, it just made me think of like waitressing or bartending or being in a place where there's tips and you all work well together. Everybody shares tips so that when there's a table that needs, you know, the water filled or something cleared off, somebody else who works there can notice and they have nothing to do and they help out so that the entire environment is good and blessed and moving well and everybody's helpful, even if that's not your table, you know, because then the energy is going to come back to you. And when the other person has a moment to help you out your table or your customer, whatever it is, there's not competition or fighting. You're helping each other grow. And sometimes you have a day, I'm going to tips, so maybe some of you work in restaurants. It's not for everybody, but I feel like you can understand what I'm trying to say parable-wise here, that, you know, there's no competition working against. You have that customer, that's mine, and trying to get something over because you're all helping. You know, there's another day where you might work really hard and make extra, but somebody else didn't get the chance to because they got the weird position in the back of the restaurant. And then there's another day when you're in that position and you know, didn't do as well, but somebody else worked a little harder and you balance it out in the end. So this is finding balance today. It doesn't have to be that kind of environment, and you can work in an environment where you work for yourself and still make it work with others. You know, still be helpful. I just saw like a flea market. That was sort of interesting. So, you know, that was so weird. That made me think of one time, wow, long time ago, long time ago, I made silly jewelry before I did my fancy, like, real, you know, jewelry and metalworking. But when I did things with beads and I was a little bit younger, I rented a booth at a rock concert one time up by Boston or Providence, and I rented the booth with Manic Panic. And we shared the booth, and I sold my jewelry, and they had like wigs and hair dye and stuff like that. And we worked together under the same tent, so we didn't have to spend too much on the spot. And I wore one of their wigs and helped sell their stuff, and they pushed mine a little bit. So you can work well with things that are totally different. So like a flea market, if somebody sells like, I see like mittens and gloves and like scarves made of like wool or something, like knitting, or maybe somebody else sells popcorn, or somebody else carves wood. Maybe there's a way to work together, you know, to have your business cards there, you know, that person can tell you about the next cool flea market, or, you know, boat show, home show. I'm seeing stuff like that here. So it makes me think of even like Comic-Con, or like comic books, or toy shows, you know, Christmas shows, maybe gifts. Maybe there's somewhere you can go, like a flea market, and start to sell something you've made and, you know, get the ball rolling so you can have something on the side, you know. So I don't know, you meet people there. This works. That was sort of a side track with that card. So let's, well, let me show you this. I did not know I put that like that on my lap, and that's the Chariot. That's the Victory. I'm not going to get sidetracked on this card, but that's 7. And that's Archangel Metatron, and that's taking control, taking the reins and making it happen. You know? Getting over the bumps, determination and self-control, career advancement. This is what advances you. Where that loving environment that you love to do is. You know, not the place where you felt taken advantage of and not heard and not appreciated for everything extra you put into it. Acknowledgement of success by others. Others noticing how awesome you are here. That's here too. But that's major arcana and minor arcana. So let's do one more card from the Oracles of Visions for Friday, the 2nd of December. Clarity on the 3 of Ariel, the 3 of Pentacles. Try to see eye to eye with others. Try to recognize others' specific talents. Let others do their job. Perhaps teaching, you know, giving some responsibility away too. So everything is not on your back. That's learning how to, like I see like you dividing the pie. But it doesn't necessarily have to be even. It just has to be balanced for you. So maybe the proportions don't, I see you starting a business, so maybe it doesn't have to be equal. You know, maybe that is, if you do a partnership, maybe it's equal. I see everybody going in, but I feel like for some of you, you have help in your own business, but it's like a partnership. So you have like an investor who has a percentage. You know, maybe somebody has a certain license, somebody else has something else, but it works well together in the end for your own specific portions or balance. All right, let's get one more card for the day. And that's number 6. So she looks balanced. She looks like she's doing yoga by levitating. There's like a rainbow. Look at that rainbow. It's like you're bursting through the rainbow. You're rising above the situation. That's cool. It almost looks like the flower of life a little bit. It reminds me of like a boat, like the round windows. I see round windows somewhere. So maybe somebody has like a round window on their house or something like that, or stained glass, or maybe that's like I see like an ornament. Maybe somebody's doing something with ornaments. The Japanese cherry blossoms are really beautiful. And it's like there's these stones, these pebbles, lifted above the situation. There's this calm water and almost like a waterfall out of nowhere. It makes me think of like a meditation garden. This has never come up. Let's see what it is. 6 is tranquility and at peace. So you're finding somewhere peaceful. You're finding peace in that situation, finding harmony and peace within yourself. I go to nature to be soothed and healed and to have my senses put in order. John Burroughs. Nature is the best teacher. If you're ever unsure of what to do, I feel like just go on a walk. You know, go outside, walk around, meditate, listen to the birds, feel the wind, notice your thoughts, have consciousness, or just relax and don't think about anything and see what comes through. Nature is a divine teacher. We have experienced a difficult period, but the trial is over. Challenging times in their multitude of forms, worries over financial or health issues, troubled relationships, or concerns for others close to us have left us physically weakened or spiritually tested. Now, either by acceptance or conclusion, our troubles are past. Now we need the comforting embrace of rest. It's time to recuperate and to regain our strength. A woman draped in purple cloth reclines peacefully. A glowing divine light or spirit drives away the shadows of her troubles. She floats gently above a zen-like garden of cherry blossoms. So find that place of tranquility, you know, to help you through this, to help you rise above this situation. You know, I feel like even though this tower is big, it brings you to peace, or it brings you so much change that you have to rest up and get ready for these big changes that are coming through, you know, because they're bringing you new starts and blessings and big appreciation, you know, big victory. Where's that deck? I have no idea where I had no idea where I put all my angel cards. Oh, here. That's your big victory. You know, that's what's coming through. But it starts with you taking control of your situation, no matter how big the tower, inside or outside. It's up to you to start to get on board, you know, get on board with your higher self, your divine self, and make it work. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you.